technically, despite having the most wins in both the AL and all of Major League Baseball, 52 of them for New York, no longer the best winning percentage.
You expect your front offices to hit that gas pedal when it comes time to get a better team on the field post All-Star break, because the one thing that you know from the Yankees and the Orioles is what, Ben? You're going to fight with each other throughout the stretch here, and you want home field advantage.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
You know, this guy is the mad scientist. I mean, he's all about green density. So in my mind, I feel like he's going to have the green speeds dialed in, and the angles needs to land them and all that sort of stuff. I feel like he's going to be in a good spot and playing the course well. And he's going to be hitting less club into a lot of these par threes too. So I just, we're talking about using a live guy. I love Bryson this week. I'm riding with Bryson.
Only on SportsGrid.
This new sports integrity partnership, Genius Sports, is involved in this. More protection.
They said that's going to allow them to beef up their protection and add more integrity monitoring tools to essentially catch bad behavior before it happens. This comes, obviously, after a just ton of scandals we've had across sports betting lately, whether it's the MLB umpire, Pat Hoberg.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Despite me being a Yankee fan, I think Joe would deserve the label as Aaron Judge's biggest fan, not through any bias, but just through the amount of money that he's made anybody who's been betting on him.
I just had him for that home run, and I'm going to go back to it today. That home run coming in at plus 230. Max Fried here, while he has been strong, this is Aaron Judge.
Game time decisions, only on Sports.
Let's roll. This is SportsRage. I am Gabriel Morency, the pimps, the players, the hustlers, the people that bust them, and everybody else in between. Let's do this thing. The Wicked Wednesday has begun. Countdown to kickoff continues. Less than 24 hours away until the start of the National Football League regular season. We're ready to rock and roll. We're locked and loaded. Brady Cannon will sound the cannon this evening. A 21-gun salute. For those about to rock, we salute you. For those about to bet, we salute you even more, as over $35 billion will be bet this year legally on National Football League games. And that doesn't take into account a lot of other money that is bet on National Football League games and other things as well. All right, so we're breaking it down. We're going to have a ton of picks this evening. Brady Cannon steps up, and then Paul Bovey's a scratch. Ian Cameron kicks it with us. We're only doing 120 minutes, so we've got a lot of stuff to get to. We got U.S. Open tennis going on. Shout out to Jessica Pegula. Advances to a semifinals of a major for the first time. Her first U.S. Open semifinals. There's been a resurgence. And other than Serena Williams, I guess there's been a few wins here and there, but American tennis as a whole isn't anywhere near what it used to be from, being a dominant force, especially on the men's side, right? When's the last time an American male won the U.S. Open? I think it's like Andre Agassi. It's been a hell of a long time, right? So Fritz into the semifinals, Pegula into the semifinals, maybe one of them can pull it off. And if Pegula, and, maybe some of you know this, but I think a lot of times people just sort of assume that everybody's going to know everything. But if you hear Jessica Pegula, of course, the owners of the Buffalo Bills are the Pegulas, right? It's Kim Pegula's daughter. She's actually like the future owner of the Buffalo Bills. like, you know what I mean? If something happened, she would be the owner of the Buffalo Bills, which would be pretty unique, actually, wouldn't it? If she was still playing tennis and she was actually the owner of the Bills. A lot of times when the kids get the team, they cash out. And they sell the team after. But I think it would be awesome, and it would be a good sort of Kickstarter, because like Pegula said tonight, they asked her, how does it feel to finally get into the semifinals of a Grand Slam major event? And she said, you know what? I've been into the quarterfinals so many, and she nearly dropped an F-bomb. She's like, so many freaking times. And she goes, I kept on losing all the time. And they asked her, well, what did you do different? Or what was your mindset? She goes, well, I didn't really think anything different. I just had to actually win instead of lose. And I can't help but think about her Buffalo Bills as well. So, like, if Pegula wins where I'm going with this is, if Pegula wins the U.S. Open, the Buffalo Bills are winning the Super Bowl. Lock it in, point blank, all right? This is as much of a lock as I said when the Broncos were going to win the Super Bowl because it was year of the horse. They made it to the Super Bowl, but they got lit up and they got murdered. They got murdered in the Super Bowl. But true story, it was years ago. It was when the Broncos lost to the Seattle Seahawks in the Super Bowl. Chinese astrology was the year of the horse. And I said, how can the Broncos with Peyton Manning and it being year of the horse not get to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl? And they did. But I knew that the year of the horse thing fell apart for me when there was like a safety on the first play of the game. That's when it fell apart for the sports books as well. They got killed on that. First play of the game, safety. All right. So Medvedev and Sinner right now, men's U.S. Open tennis going on. We got a good match. And you know what? It's one of these back and forth. You know, to be honest with you, I'm not going to sit here and tell you, well, you know what, in my day it was better, because these guys would murder the old dudes. I'm not going to dispute that. You know, I know there's always a big debate. It seems like the basketball media and players like to argue the most about different generations. You'll notice hockey players don't do it. Old hockey players will tell you the new guys will kill us, right? Just because of the size, the speed, and everything. But I said it's a great match. I almost take it back. It's a competitive match in the sense, whatever. Sinner won the first set 6-2, and now Medvedev is up in the second set 3-0, right? In the modern male tennis and men's tennis, there's not really, you don't have a ton of classic rallies, and, you know, it's basically crash and burn. Boom, serve, right? Boom, ace. You win on your serve, you lose when you don't serve. All the modern players tap out when they're down by a couple of games too, right? You know what I mean? It's like they could make it 6-4 or something like that, but they know it's like, all right, whatever, dude. I'm down 4-1. I'm not coming back, so I'm not going to burn all this energy trying to come back just to lose 6-4 to make it look better, or just to do it for some jackass like that talk show host that bet on the over total games. Right? So these guys, right, like they'll roll over. So it's like 6-2, I lost that set. And right now Medvedev is up 3-0, and he's on the verge of potentially going up 4-0 right now in the second set. For the record, we are on the over 38.5 in this match. I don't have a winner in this game. I figured Sinner would win, but I didn't. I just played a total, thinking, you know what? Can you give me 4 sets? You give me 4 sets, I win. Right? You know what I mean? It was one of those bets. I just need. And, you know, if Medvedev pulls this off, basically we're going to win the bet. Unless we get a bunch of 6-2s, and there's a bunch of 8s across the board, then I'm going to snap. Speaking of 8, Lamar Jackson and company, the countdown to kickoff is on in the National Football League. There are pretty much 3s across the board right now in this game. I look forward to Brady Cannon's thoughts on this game, Friday night's game in Brazil, between the Green Bay Packers and the Philadelphia Eagles, and, of course, the full slate on Sunday. The contests are starting to really come down to the wire right now. We've surpassed $11 million in the Circa Survivor, and word is it's going to be $12 million when it's all said and done. A little bit more than $12 million to the winner of the Circa Survivor. And, of course, the Cincinnati Bengals are the trendy pick in the Survivor world. Yeah, I can't help but think about past years and how many times have we seen, and you hear the reports, Jamar Chase, yeah, he's practicing, yeah, you know what, but he's being held back. And is Joe Burrow ever 100% to start a season ever? Have the Bengals ever really looked good early in the season? Isn't the Bengals' MO that they kind of struggle and that nothing looks good for the first couple of weeks? Joe Burrow gets mad, and then they go on a big tear for the rest of the year. You know what? Put it this way. For all the people that are going to be playing, and no one's going to listen. I'm not going to talk people out of taking the Cincinnati Bengals in a survivor situation. But I'll ask you, are you sure they're even going to cover the point spread in this game? I don't know. Maybe the New England Patriots aren't as much of a train wreck as everybody makes them out to be. They're going to have a tolerant defense, right? It's not like their defense, listen, I don't think their defense is, state of the art. We're not talking about one of the best defenses in the history of the league. And they're going to be put in some tough spots sometimes, but they still have a defense to hang their hat on. Jacoby Brissett, he's been around. All it takes is a play here and a play there. And the fact of the matter is, favorites of more than 7 points in week 1 of the National Football League are like certain death. And in fact, so are favorites on Monday Night Football. We'll go over some of these numbers. We'll also get you caught up to date with all the numbers. College football, week 2, big game, Michigan and Texas takes center stage. Of course, there was a seismic line shift after Michigan only won by 20. And I use that term loosely, considering the point spread was 21 points in that football game. Yet they won by 20, yet people acted like it was the end of the world. And then ultimately, Texas absolutely rolled over Colorado State, right? So this is why we have the number that it is. But I think it's very, very dangerous laying 7.5 points with a road favorite. And we'll go over some numbers to back it up going into the big house in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Let's roll. This is Sports Rage.
The Bostonian versus the Book.
Would it make you feel better as a bettor or as a sports fan if they said after the game we were trying to cover the spread?
Oh, God. To say it out loud? Oh, my God, no.
So what,
to say it out loud? Oh, my God. You can't say that out loud. No, you can't do that.
Okay, so what is the big deal either way?
Oh, play the game the right way.
The Bostonian versus the Book.
I feel like the first person to take a kicker in fantasy football is somebody that feels like, man, I had a really bad draft. Let me make sure I get the best kicker. The way I've always looked at it that way. Like, oh, I did so bad, so let me take Justin Tucker.
The key for me is, though, I make marks. Okay, this guy, I'll highlight him because I don't want 3 or 4 of these guys. I draft 3 or 4 of these guys and they all get hurt. I have no one to blame but me.
Fantasy sports today, only on SportsGrid.
When you're really, really amazing like this, people kind of take it for granted. Same with Ohtani, right? People will sort of see, oh, Ohtani did this, Ohtani did that, and it sort of, becomes normalized a little bit. But to put in context, Aaron Judge joins the 1,000 hit club, reaches, gets it done. So earlier this month, he was the fastest player to reach 300 home runs ever.
Sports Rage Late Night, only on SportsGrid.
Let's go.
Welcome to the Live Golf Team Championship.
The golf has been mesmerizing.
They are the Live Golf Team Champions.
Team golf is back.
Oh, yes!
Are you ready?
Let's go! That's what champions do.
This is Sports Rage. I'm Morency. Countdown to kickoff is on. And one thing I've always loved about the U.S. Open, especially when we get into the quarterfinals, the semifinals, is it's football season, right? When you get the finals and you get these big-time matchups and just growing up, even remembering coming up next after this, like in the morning, it used to even be on Labor Day and stuff. And it'd be like coming up after NFL football. And, we got a great tournament, U.S. Open rolling on. Medvedev's up 3-0 right now in the second set. He's got an advantage in the third game, about to go up 4-0 right now. So less than 24 hours away. Let's do this. Let's bring in Brady Cannon, a Super Contest winner. And from what I garner from your commercial and promo for the contest show, a presidential candidate as well.
Yeah.
It was you look very, very presidential. Very presidential. I didn't realize there was a fourth candidate in running. But you're not running for president. You're running to win $12 million.
Yeah, absolutely. No doubt about it. Good to be with you guys once again. All day, whether you want to go back and, it's on demand. You can find it whenever you like, wherever you like. And the deadline for Circa contests is 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern on Saturdays. And then 11:59, right before midnight, 11:59 p.m. at the Westgate Superbook for the Super Contest. That's when their deadline is. So you've got pretty much all day long to take in that show, see if you think we're full of you-know-what or if we have anything that makes sense. And, you don't have to only use it for your contest picks. We're going to have a lot of, insights in there as well, just for the bets you might make on Saturday or Sunday.
Well, I want to get to it from a contest perspective. I'll ask Cam first up, though, about if he's got any baseball bets rocking for everybody tonight that he wants to share with everybody.
I'm on the Snakes, Morency. I'm not going against this trend that I like because when this guy pitches for the Giants, they're 0-5 in his last starts. Arizona playing better ball. They almost threw it away last night, though, Gabe, 8-7. They had a big lead in that game. I think it was 8-1, and Brady's Giants almost came back. But I'm on the Snakes tonight. I'm glad I stayed off the Dodgers. I was going to put them in a parlay, but they're down 6-0. But who knows? That's not over yet with the Angels bullpen. But, yeah, I'm on. That's all I'm on, Gabe. Snakes, and I took Medvedev in this match here, plus 5.5 games to start in-game live, and I like them at plus 180 right now.
Angels are surprisingly up 6-0.
The Giants, I think it's a good bet or a good thing maybe to employ down the stretch here. I think their season's over, and I think the team kind of knows it. Barely anybody showed up at the game last night. So the wind is out of the sails completely. They're done. And, I think there could be a little bit of we're mailing it in coming around here for the next couple of weeks. So, yeah, probably not a bad idea to continue to go against the Giants. We'll see if that continues to work.
And ironically enough, you know who isn't mailing it in? The team across the bay, across the bridge.
Yeah.
Is the Oakland Athletics. The Athletics guys actually have the second best record in the American League since the All-Star break.
Amazing.
Which would blow people's minds. They're 31-22 coming into tonight.
Wow,
in their last 53
really
baseball games. And I saw this firsthand, guys. I was there in Montreal for the last homestands, the last this, the last that. And there's something to it, right? The fact of the matter is the players get caught up with the fans. The players aren't overly excited about going to Sacramento and playing in a minor league park for the next couple of years. They also know that the team isn't going to spend any money playing in this little stadium. So they're not, remember earlier in the year, the players were wearing T-shirts, save the team and all that type of stuff. They get into it, right? So they're you talked about it, Brady. Some teams, the Giants, more of a veteran team, it's done, right? They're planning golf trips right now and filling out football pools like we are. Right,
right, exactly. And the Oakland A's, they're exceeding expectations.
I know we have a game tonight, but let me get my picks in. You know what I mean? These guys,
hey, I got a guy signing me up for the Circa contest. No,
exactly.
you mentioned it. What's that? 9 games over 500, the last 53 games. My friend John Madden used to say, God rest his soul, winning is a good deodorant. So, it doesn't stink anymore when you're winning and it's fun. And so, yeah, these guys, they've exceeded expectations all year. And I think your point is well made as well, that, there's something to be said about, hey, it's our last year here, guys, and we're having fun while we're at it. Why don't we keep winning? Might as well.
All right, so we got the quick baseball update. Like we said, the Angels are smashing the Dodgers tonight, 6-0 early in this game, and Medvedev is up 4-0 right now. So it looks like we might have a marathon match. But kickoff is less than 24 hours away. And I didn't see the circle lines, Brady, but I saw the Super Contest, and I did see that the game tomorrow night is 2.5 in the contests, but it's 3 at the books right now. And this is always that tricky little difference that these contests are hard enough as it is, aren't they? And then they come up with their own numbers, which will squeeze you. And I'll just throw it out there. I like Baltimore at +3, Brady. How much of a difference, in your opinion, is there between the 2.5 and 3 in this game? In my opinion, quite a bit, actually, when you're dealing with the Kansas City Chiefs.
There's absolutely, I don't think there's a bigger difference between any two numbers in national football and NFL football. I think most pros would tell you it's probably about 25 cents, that difference between 3 and 2.5. And you're right. If you like Baltimore, are you going to play them +2.5 in a contest? Well, you certainly aren't going to bet them +2.5. You're going to go out there and shop for a 3. That's not smart wagering if you're taking the 2.5. But in a contest, oddly enough, it can sometimes be a good play, especially if it's late in the year and you're trying to make, a splash, if you're trying to go rogue, because the theory is that most people in the contest are going to play it smart and they're not going to play a bad number. But if you're in a position where you need to catch up, you're like, I got to do some stuff that's outside the box. I'm going to take a bad number here. I'm going to take a bad number there. And hopefully they win and I move up the leaderboard, because you're going against the grain.
We'll hit this and more on the other side.
The Bostonian versus the Book.
Would it make you feel better as a bettor or as a sports fan if they said after the game we were trying to cover the spread?
Oh, God. To say it out loud? Oh, my God, no.
So what,
to say it out loud? Oh, my God. You can't say that out loud. No, you can't even. You can't do that.
Okay, so what is the big deal either way?
Oh, play the game the right way.
The Bostonian versus the Book.
I feel like the first person to take a kicker in fantasy football is somebody that feels like, man, I had a really bad draft. Let me make sure I get the best kicker. The way I've always looked at it that way. Like, oh, I did so bad, so let me take Justin Tucker.
The key for me is, though, I make marks. Okay, this guy, I'll highlight him because I don't want 3 or 4 of these guys. I draft 3 or 4 of these guys and they all get hurt. I have no one to blame but me.
Fantasy sports today, only on SportsGrid.
When you're really, really amazing like this, people kind of take it for granted. Same with Ohtani, right? People will sort of see, oh, Ohtani did this, Ohtani did that, and it sort of, becomes normalized a little bit. But to put in context, Aaron Judge joins the 1,000 hit club, gets it done. So earlier this month, he was the fastest player to reach 300 home runs ever.
SportsRage Late Night, only on SportsGrid.
Let's go. Welcome to the Live Golf Team Championship. The golf has been mesmerizing. They are the Live Golf Team Champions. Team golf is back. Oh, yes! Are you ready? Let's go! That's what champions do.
$5-0 Medvedev. You know what's crazy? I played the over 38.5. And I said, well, if it gets to 4 sets, we're going to win. Unless you get these crazy sets, which is pretty frustrating. 6-2's only 8. And now suddenly we're on the verge of a 6-6 love. And as I stated off the top of the show, these modern players, they don't fight back. The old dudes would be like, oh, I'm going to try to come back and make an epic comeback here. These guys conserve their energy. It's like load management in the NBA. They're like, well, I'm down 3-0. Screw this. I'm out. I'm going to save this for the next set. I'm not winning. Right? Like they'll sort of say, if I don't win the next match, I'm sort of tapping out. You can't tell me that Sinner can't win a game here suddenly.
Exactly.
He's consciously decided, you know what? I'm down 4-0. Now it's 5-0, and it is what it is. Let's just move on to the next set. So he is up 40-0. So I might get one out of this, up to 7. I'll get
It's a
an 8.
great point, though,
It'd be
Gabe.
two 8s in a row, 16. 16 after 2 sets. I still need, you
need
give me a
7, 6, 7, 6,
You gotta give me a 7, 6.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm
Come
doing
on.
the math, too. I'm like, I don't know if the math adds up.
At
but I'm
least
gonna
a
tell
freaking
people this.
6, 6, 4. Come on, man.
Yeah. I think this match will probably go 5, but you're right, Gabe. It needs to go deep. But I've also realized that great point by you with the over. Games bet, but it also happens with the spread bet too. Now I'm really happy with Medvedev because if he beats him 6-1 here, I get my points back here, and he'll be up 8-7. And before he was getting 5.5. Gabe, that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Medvedev, when he checks out, but it can work against you.
Yeah, but he
too.
could lose 6-3, 6-3 in the next 2 sets. Boom, it's over.
Yeah. I had that girl. All she couldn't lose. I remember with the set betting, and then she tapped out in the third set. Was it Donna Vedcic? She was there. All she had to do was win one more game, and she just said, "Yeah, I'm done. Zhang's beating me," and she tapped out and lost 4 straight games. She quit. So very careful with those overs and the spread betting. But hopefully the 5.5 is good enough, buddy.
All right. So Kansas City, as we stated, they're laying 3 right now at the sports books. Forget about the contest. They're laying 3. And I'm sure anybody that reads or, does research on these things or bets knows Lamar Jackson is 13-1-1 as an underdog against the spread. All right, so he's been absolutely lethal. Something I don't understand, Brady, for the love of God, and I'm starting to dislike the Chiefs. It's like anything. Any team that wins all the time, you know what I mean? It's like the Warriors. At first, everyone liked them. By the end, it was like, shut up, Draymond Green. You know what I mean? It changes, right? People like you, it's like you're the hero, and then you live you're long enough, you become the villain type of deal. So, Mahomes, just all of them, they're annoying. It's annoying me I'm wearing red right now, even talking about them. But with that being stated, Buffalo was in the game last year in the bad weather. It was bad play calling in the last drive. They missed the field goal. It would have went to overtime. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. And Baltimore, to me, Brady, should have beaten them last year. They could have. Remember Zay Flowers, you know what I mean? Fumbled the ball on the 2-yard line. Another time he dropped. Flowers had a nightmare fourth quarter, even though he made a bunch of plays. The wheels fell off. And I'm a Harbaugh guy. As you guys see, I love Jim, and I think John's a smart guy too. But over the last couple of years, John's got a little goofy in his, let me ask the players if you want to go for 2. And, Lamar told me we should go for it. Dude, it's not Lamar's decision, right? You tell Lamar what we're going to do. You let him make the play. And for the love of God, they only ran the football 6 times, Brady, last year.
Yes.
I don't understand that.
I mean,
you're the Baltimore Ravens. You got a number 1 offense in the NFL rushing the ball. You want to keep Mahomes off the field, and you ran the ball 6 times, Brady. So if they run the ball tomorrow, I think they win the game. But I don't know if Harbaugh will do it.
Yeah, I mean, you have to believe he's going to. I mean, if they haven't learned their lesson by now, God, I mean, that game still frustrates me. What's interesting is the flip of the spread here. I think Baltimore was about a 5-point favorite on their home turf for that one. Now you have Kansas City, it's an 8-point swing. That's quite a bit. But the truth is, Gabe, not only Buffalo, not only Baltimore, the entire NFL let the Chiefs off the hook last year. Through 13 games, they were 8-5.
Everybody.
The Niners. They were not very good last year. They were minus 11 in turnover differential, minus 23 in penalty margin. I mean, that team with those numbers never even should have made the playoffs, let alone win the Super Bowl. And now, guess what, guys? They're better this year. They've improved. So I think they are deservedly the favorite to make it a three-peat, unfortunately. I'm with you. I'm annoyed by the Chiefs, too. They beat my Niners twice in the last, 5 years or so. So, but unfortunately, I think they're better than they were last year. Last year was the year to get them. We'll see what happens this year.
All right, we'll get Brady's thoughts on week 1 on the other side. We'll take a look at the Friday Nighter as well. Bring it.
The Bostonian versus the book.
Would it make you feel better as a bettor or as a sports fan if they said after the game we were trying to cover the spread?
Oh, God. To say it out loud? Oh my God, no.
So what?
No, to say it out loud? Oh my God, you can't say that out loud. No, you can't even. You can't do that.
Okay, so what is the big deal? Either way.
Oh, play the game the right way.
The Bostonian versus the Book.
I feel like the first person to take a kicker in fantasy football is somebody that feels like, man, I had a really bad draft. Let me make sure I get the best kicker. The way I've always looked at it that way. Like, oh, I did so bad, so let me take Justin Tucker.
The key for me is, though, I make marks. Okay, this guy, I'll highlight him because I don't want 3 or 4 of these guys. I draft 3 or 4 of these guys and they all get hurt. I have no one to blame but me.
Fantasy sports today, only on SportsGrid.
When you're really, really amazing like this, people kind of take it for granted. Same with Ohtani, right? People will sort of see, oh, Ohtani did this, Ohtani did that, and it sort of, becomes normalized a little bit. But to put in context, Aaron Judge joins the 1,000 hit club, gets it done. So earlier this month, he was the fastest player to reach 300 home runs ever.
SportsRage Late Night, only on SportsGrid.
Let's go. Welcome to the Live Golf Team Championship. The golf has been mesmerizing. They are the Live Golf Team Champions.
Team golf is back.
Oh, yes!
Are you ready?
Let's go! That's what champions do.
The Wicked Wednesday continues. This is Sports Rage. We're into the third set right now, and Sinner is now up 40-15. So it's just going back and forth. But for our total, it gets dangerous. We get another 6-1, 6-2, even 6-3. We'd like to see an extended. Give us a nice 7-6. Give us a classic here. Like I said off the top of the show, it's an intriguing match because they're going back and forth, but it's not really entertaining. Whatever. One of them serves, the other guy, can't return it, or he smashes it back into the net, and then the other guy does. There's not a lot of drama. I'll put it that way. It's pretty anticlimactic tennis, but that's the modern men's game for the most part. All right. So, Brady, your thoughts tomorrow? Final. I'll throw this out there at you, and you seem to agree with me in the frustration because I don't get it either. And I had a lot on Baltimore as well. Number one, people kind of forget about Derrick Henry, but he can still run people over. The guy is still an athletic freak. And the Baltimore Ravens didn't bring him in not to use him, right? And especially against the Kansas City Chiefs here, guys. And Derrick Henry has lit up a lot of teams over the years, all right? Like, he terrorized the teams in his division, but he's averaging 119 yards per game in his career, which is the most against any opponent in a National Football League. Against the Kansas City Chiefs. It's the first game. It's his first game, Brady. I'm expecting a heavy dose of Derrick Henry tomorrow. I think Henry's going to get into the end zone. I like Henry over the 62.5 rush yards. And I'm going to take the Baltimore Ravens plus the 3 points and hope for the best. Because I think if the Chiefs win, they'll win by 1 or 2. And Bucker will kick a field goal. They'll win by 3 or something like that. I think Baltimore's a nice teaser play as well. And we should know, guys, the Kansas City Chiefs are only 5-5 straight up their last 10 primetime home games as well. So final thoughts, Brady, on that one before we move on to Fridays.
I don't necessarily disagree with anything you said there about a possible game plan and the pounding Derrick Henry. And, I think Lamar Jackson is a good player to bet over his rushing prop as well. Pick one or the other. Which one do you think they're going to feature? But you got to figure they have to run the ball. I mean, did they learn their lesson? Please, playoff revenge. That's a big deal. Overall, big picture, I think the Ravens are going to slip this year. Last year was their chance. They were plus 12 in turnover margin, plus 23 in sack margin. Lamar Jackson was healthy the entire year. Everything went right for them last year, and they blew it. And like I said, I think the Chiefs are improved actually this year. This game is all about the number. If you make a case there for Baltimore, go get a 3. If you can make a case for Kansas City, go lay the 2.5. Don't do it any other way. Don't take 2.5 with Baltimore or lay 3 with Kansas City. That's not smart. If you put me to it and made me pick a side here, I'd lay the 2.5 with the Chiefs.
So the Packers and the Eagles are playing Brazil on Friday night, and the contest over at the Westgate, it's 2.5. Another 2.5. Tricky way to start the season. But I'm seeing some 2s right now as far as the books are concerned, where the total has gone up to 49 in this football game. And I remember the last time we spoke, I threw it out there that I was leaning with the Green Bay Packers at the time. I didn't put the play in, but you were leading with the Eagles at the time, Brady. Are you still leading with the Eagles right now?
Yeah, and full disclosure here, I don't think I'm going to bet either of these games. Obviously 2.5, 3 key numbers. It's really tight. You've got good teams. It's the first game of the season. But I think overall, again, macro picture here, I think the Eagles will bounce back this year. They were fraudulent early in the season. It was reality kicking in the second half of the season, and they were awful. The Packers, went on an upward trajectory in a huge way in the second half. I think the Packers will come back down to earth a little bit. I think they'll win 9 or 10 games. I think their season win total is spot on. But I think the Eagles will bounce back. And I expect it to start here. And this is a very similar situation. I'm not going to argue with you taking 3 with Green Bay. Sure, absolutely. I'd argue with you if you took 2.5 with Green Bay. It's the same thing. If you like the Eagles, lay the 2.5. If you like the Packers, grab the 3. And yeah, Gabe, if you put me to it again, I'd take the favorite and lay the 2.5. Again, because I just think they're going to rebound this season, where I think the Packers will kind of level off a little bit. They'll be good. I think the Bears, the Lions, and the Packers are all capable of winning 10 games. I think the first one to 11 or 12 wins that division.
There's been so much talk about rookie quarterbacks making their first start in week 1 and the lack of success that they've had. We have to go all the way back to David Carr in 2002. He's the last quarterback to be a rookie and start in week 1 and win the football game. The last 15 that have tried are 0-14-1. Yet we've got Caleb Williams laying points as a 4-point favorite in his first start. Jaden Daniels is an underdog in his first start, getting 3, which is, I'm curious about your thoughts on it. Is that too light? I mean, the Bucs aren't really getting a lot of respect, are they? Only laying 3 to Washington. And you got Bo Nix, who, yeah, he's a rookie, but the guy's also started like 60 college football games before. So it's not like he's a raw player, Bo Nix. I think he'll play older than, his NFL experience. But are you going to look to avoid, if you liked any of these teams with rookies, or you're like, no, I can't get in front of this 0-14-1 thing? Or do you not believe in that? And are these new quarterbacks? What do you think about that rookie starting in week 1 curse?
Well, I'll give you a little bit of an opinion on each one of them. I'm on the Titans. I got plus 4.5, and I think there's plenty of 4.5 still out there. I could see the Bears winning the game. I just think it's too many. Again, asking a rookie quarterback, a team that won 7 games last year, to win by margin, I think that's asking a lot. I think the Bears could win by 3 or less. I also think Tennessee could possibly pull off the upset. I don't think they're getting enough credit. I think their coaching staff is really good. These guys all went to high school together from a very powerful high school, De La Salle in Concord, California, a football machine. So I think there'll be continuity with that coaching staff. I like Will Levis at quarterback. I think their receivers are great. So I think they're being a little bit disrespected, and 4.5 is just too many. And then you look at Washington and Jaden Daniels and the Bucs. I think you're right, Gabe. I think the Bucs are being a little bit disrespected. I don't know what's wrong with them. They did fine last year. They won the division. They lost Canales, but okay, I think they can be fine without that. And Washington, they're still Washington, and I expect them to have a little bit of an uptick this year. I think they've improved the coaching staff, the quarterbacking, obviously, but But I lean with the Bucks there in week one. Dan Quinn's got a division game coming up on deck the next week. This is a guy that was the former defensive coordinator of the Dallas Cowboys. You know he knows everybody very, very well in that division, and he may be focused on that just a little bit. Hard to say that he's overlooking week one, but he definitely has week two on his mind with a division matchup coming up. And then finally, I know the Seattle Seahawks really and the Denver Broncos, I think a lot of people believe that both of these teams are going to exceed expectations. But when should the Eagles all of a sudden be favored by 6 points over anybody? I mean, maybe 3.5, 4. I think that's too many. And I'm not all of a sudden in love with, I don't want to drink that Kool-Aid with what we saw out of Bo Nix in the preseason. But to your point, Gabe, guy's been around the block a few times. He's not too bad at all. I didn't think he was coming into the draft, and he's proven it here in the preseason. So, yeah, I think that game's going to be closer than 6 points in the Pacific Northwest.
You know what, guys? And sitting around the Circa on Saturday speaking to people about the Survivor and talking to people with like 5 entries, 10 entries. Obviously Cincinnati was, a hot topic of conversation, but a lot of people like Seattle, and I'm not so sure, right? You know what I mean? Like, okay.
I'd rather have the Buccaneers, Gabe, right?
Yeah.
You just mentioned it. I'd rather have the Bucs.
In a Survivor situation, would you trust Tampa more than Seattle?
I do. I mean, you talk about a rookie quarterback in Bo Nix. They've also got a rookie head coach on the other side in Mike McDonald.
All right, we'll wrap up with Brady on the other side. We'll ask a couple other Survivor thoughts, and we'll get them out of here. This is SportsRage.
The Bostonian versus the Book.
Would it make you feel better as a bettor or as a sports fan if they said after the game we were trying to cover the spread?
Oh, God. To say it out loud? Oh, my God, no.
So what,
to say it out loud? Oh, my God. You can't say that out loud. No, you can't do that.
Okay, so what is the big deal either way?
Oh, play the game the right way.
The Bostonian versus the Book.
I feel like the first person to take a kicker in fantasy football is somebody that feels like, man, I had a really bad draft. Let me make sure I get the best kicker. The way I've always looked at it that way. Like, oh, I did so bad, so let me take Justin Tucker.
The key for me is, though, I make marks. Okay, this guy, I'll highlight him because I don't want 3 or 4 of these guys. I draft 3 or 4 of these guys and they all get hurt. I have no one to blame but me.
Fantasy sports today, only on SportsGrid.
When you're really, really amazing like this, people kind of take it for granted. Same with Ohtani, right? People will sort of see, oh, Ohtani did this, Ohtani did that, and it sort of, becomes normalized a little bit. But to put in context, Aaron Judge joins the 1,000 hit club, gets it done. So earlier this month, he was the fastest player to reach 300 home runs ever.
SportsRage Late Night, only on SportsGrid.
Let's go. Welcome to the Live Golf Team Championship. The golf has been mesmerizing. They are the Live Golf Team Champions.
Team golf is back.
Oh, yes!
Are you ready?
Let's go! That's what champions do.
Countdown to kickoff is on. The National Football League is back. And unbelievable how this tennis match is going. 6-2, 6-1, now 3-0 in the third. Yeah. Like, seriously, there's going to be 3 sets of action here. And they're barely going to be at 20. It's like a women's match, like 3 sets. Like, it's basically like, all right, what's the over-under, 23.5? I don't think these 2 guys are capable of giving me a 7-6. They can't, do anything. One of them serves, they hit it back and forth a couple of times, and then one of them hits it out of bounds. It's just rinse and repeat over and over. Like I said, it's not really great tennis. The crowd looks bored, too. You can just tell. Everyone's like, all right, whatever. Okay, so back to the football. Speaking of the Seattle Seahawks, like I said, a trendy survivor pick. You've got Cincinnati. Let me ask you, Brady, and we'll sort of bounce around, about the Buffalo Bills from a survivor perspective. If you look, and I know this sounds crazy, okay, all right, you're really going to take Buffalo week 1, and if I do it, I'm going to get called a homer. Oh, yeah, you're taking Buffalo week 1, ha-ha. All right. The two teams with the worst record that they're playing are the Arizona Cardinals and the New England Patriots this year. And the fact of the matter is, Brady, the Buffalo Bills played the Patriots in 2 of the last 3 weeks of the season. So, yeah, it'd be cute to have that in your back pocket, wouldn't it?
Good point.
All right, but 70% of the people are eliminated after week 4 of these contests. So, I don't want to start saving teams for week 16 when I got to worry about week 1. And, you know what I mean? And I'm not taking Cincinnati, but I'm looking at Buffalo, guys, and I'm a Bills fan, and look at the Bills' schedule. If you guys have it, if you get it up. If you look at the Bills' schedule, there's no easy games. Like next one, on Thursday, they're at Miami. After the Thursday game, they host Jacksonville on a Sunday night off the top of my head. Then whatever. It's like, they go to Houston or something. It's like, it's one after another. Like the Bills play a first-place schedule across the board. They get like the Kansas City game again. They're playing everybody, right? They're playing everybody again.
The other thing is, Gabe, if you want to, let's say you decide to save them for the Patriots, right? I don't know if it's the last game of the year. You said 2 out of the last 3.
Yeah.
But for a lot of these teams, this is strategy as well. I'm going to save the Niners. I'm going to save the Chiefs. I'm going to save the Bills. In week 18, some of those teams are going to be playing all backups because the game doesn't matter. You got to be careful about that too. So
you remember,
week 18 could be a
not
big
to
trap.
mention injuries too. It's like playing God, guys, and predicting the future. God, quarterbacks are going to get hurt, right? You were thinking about on December 10th and
it's
stuff.
The worst strategy doing
it's
that.
A leap
you guys
of faith.
Remember, the Raiders kicked the crap out of the Chiefs later in the season too. That's the thing. These good teams, like at the end, you talk about injuries and divisional games, and things can happen right around Christmas time. You're right, Morency. You got it. Saving things? No, you don't. You don't do that. You go in and attack it every week, and you can find something there. But yeah, I know Seattle's a popular survivor pick. I like their spot, but I think the Bills. Yeah, like you said it, their schedule is a murderer's row. It's tough as hell.
What do you think of that game, Brady? Buffalo, Arizona. Yes, all those teams.
You got to save Thanksgiving and Christmas. That's where you do your saving. I don't know if you do a whole lot of
and
saving
Black Friday.
otherwise.
Black Friday.
Yeah, there's 4 on Thanksgiving to choose from and only 3 on Christmas. In fact, I've got them. Thanksgiving, it's the Bears at the Lions, the Giants at the Cowboys, the Dolphins at the Packers, and then on that Friday, the Raiders at the Chiefs. And then on Christmas, Chiefs at Steelers, Ravens at Texans, and Seahawks at Bears. But I'm with you, Gabe. We have our football contest show we talked about that we're going to have here on SportsGrid. Right now, I wrote down we have 3 survivor entries as a team on that show. And my vote is one of them to go on the Bills. I think the Bills are a good play in week 1.
Brady Cannon kick with us just for a couple of more moments. So let's take a look at some of the updated numbers right now for these other games. So Arizona, they're getting 6.5 against Buffalo. The Texans and the Colts. What are your thoughts on that one, Brady? The Texans and the Colts. Obviously, the Texans are a super trendy team coming into this year. Yet, you know what? Rightfully so. You know what? They're like a band that had a great first record, and the second one's even better. Like, you know what I mean? It's like one of these deals. I don't think they're overhyped. I think they're the real deal. And I don't want to live in the past, but the Colts have lost 10 straight season openers. And Anthony Richardson, who I'm a fan of in the big picture, the guy's played 4 games in the NFL. You want to talk about rookies? He's essentially a rookie. He's very raw, the Colts. I don't know how you feel about the Colts. If you look, they cut their 5th, 6th, and 7th round draft picks. You know what I mean? There's a lot of nice things about them, but when you lift up the hood, I don't think a lot of people, overhype them. And I think my boy McAfee, God bless him, is part of it a little bit. Being a former Colt and go Colts, and he's got Colt fans all fired up, right? right? They're all lit up for the Colts. But what about this Texan game? Is it too square of me to like the Texans in this game?
No, it's not. And again, it's about the number. I'm not going to persecute you for laying 2.5. It's a tough situationally. This game screams Colts, and I don't know a lot about the Colts. I haven't heard too much of that buzz that you're talking about. And you're right, McAfee probably creates a lot of that. I think most people, for the most part, are down on the Colts overall. I like their coach. I like Shane Steichen. I think he's done a nice job and will continue to. But just the situation, division dog in week 1, home division dog in week 1, 26-15 for home division dogs against the spread since 2005 in week 1. Now you talk about the Colts, and I thought about this too. They were absolutely a bet against team in week 1, but for the most part, that was with Frank Reich as head coach and a revolving door at quarterback. So this is really a totally different situation with a different quarterback and a different head coach, but the same situation with a division opponent as a road favorite. You also look at the Texans, and I'm with you. This team might win the Super Bowl. They have gotten better. I love their administration, their coaching, Bobby Slowick. But this team won 4 games, 3 games, and then bang, won the division, won 10 games. That's got to come back a little bit, I would think, and maybe it starts here in week 1.
Brady, can't wait to see the contest show and the breakdowns and the discussion of all the football games. Always a pleasure, my man. May the winners be yours this weekend.
Thanks, sounds good. Thank you.
The Bostonian versus the Book.
Would it make you feel better as a bettor or as a sports fan if they said after the game we were trying to cover the spread?
Oh, God. To say it out loud? Oh, my God, no.
So what,
to say it out loud? Oh, my God. You can't say that out loud. No, you can't do that.
Okay, so what is the big deal either way?
Oh, play the game the right way.
The Bostonian versus the Book.
I feel like the first person to take a kicker in fantasy football is somebody that feels like, man, I had a really bad draft. Let me make sure I get the best kicker. The way I've always looked at it that way. Like, oh, I did so bad, so let me take Justin Tucker.
The key for me is, though, I make marks. Okay, this guy, I'll highlight him because I don't want 3 or 4 of these guys. I draft 3 or 4 of these guys and they all get hurt. I have no one to blame but me.
Fantasy sports today, only on SportsGrid.
When you're really, really amazing like this, people kind of take it for granted. Same with Ohtani, right? People will sort of see, oh, Ohtani did this, Ohtani did that, and it sort of, becomes normalized a little bit. But to put in context, Aaron Judge joins the 1,000 hit club, reaches, gets it done. So earlier this month, he was the fastest player to reach 300 home runs ever.
SportsRage Late Night, only on SportsGrid.
Let's go. Welcome to the Live Golf Team Championship. The golf has been mesmerizing. They are the Live Golf Team Champions.
Team golf is back.
Oh, yes!
Are you ready?
Let's go! That's what champions do.
Great stuff with Brady Cannon. As always, this is SportsRage. I'm Morency. Countdown to kickoff is on. We should let you know tomorrow night we're going to be on at 8 o'clock Eastern time instead of 10 o'clock. As we tweeted out earlier in the week, I'll tweet it out a bunch of times tomorrow. But for the primetime games, we'll start at 8 o'clock Eastern time with a special edition of NFL in-game coverage throughout the season. with a bunch of best bets. We'll have a halftime show, and we'll be back for the second half. So we're locked and loaded, ready to go to start another National Football League regular season. Sinner right now and Medvedev, it's a train wreck to bet the over. This is an absolute nightmare. And I kidded earlier, it's like a woman's match, but it really is. Like, dude, they're on the verge of 3 sets, and they're going to be at 21. It was 6-2 in the first. Okay, they got to 8. Then they got to 7, so 15. And now it looks like this is going to finish. So who's serving here? Sinner's about to serve for the win for 6-1. So, dear God, they're going to get to 20.
Yeah, 8,
21.
7. Yeah, it's 6, 7, 14, and 18, 22. 14 plus 8 is 22. So 8, 7, 7. If so, yeah.
Yeah. 22 after 3. I got 38 and a half.
I'm like, I haven't been to school in a while.
Sets now. Now I need 5 sets.
And you need 5 sets to go deep, too. You can't have any more. I just don't understand. You're so right.
I've never heard of that where I need 5 sets to get over 38 and a half.
Yeah, because you said it. The minute
tennis
these guys
sucks.
go up
Betting
and
on tennis sucks.
Actually, yeah. If you were betting on Pegula today and she beat Swiatek, and that was like one. I'm telling you, Gabe, Pegula's really turned the corner. It'd be nice if the Bills and Sabres could take a piece of her luck lately, winning tournaments, taking out the number 1 player. Fantastic performance.
If she wins the U.S. Open, put everything you have on the Buffalo Bills to win the Super Bowl. It'll be synergy.
Yep.
The Sabres aren't winning the Stanley Cup, though.
No, they're not. The Sabres, maybe the Rochester.
If Pegula wins the U.S. Open, maybe I'll bet on the Sabres to make the playoffs. That'll be my vow.
Sabres playoffs, Bills Super Bowl.
So, yeah, Bills win the Super Bowl. The Sabres, we got to we can't get crazy. Sabres aren't winning the Stanley Cup. Let's get them in the playoffs.
Put the brakes on. They're not winning the Stanley Cup. But Gabe, take a look at Pegula.
Dude, they haven't made the playoffs since 2009 or 10 or something like that. It's the longest drought in sports.
Yeah, like Maxim Afinogenov days. I'm going to tell you something.
It's been 16 years.
It's brutal. No, they're horrible. But they're trying. I'm going to say this, though. Pegula, I don't know what happened. She just caught
not hard enough. They're not trying hard enough. They said they're trying.
They need a goalie.
They got to try harder.
They need a lot of things. Sabres need a lot of things. But I don't know what it was. She finally got over the hump winning that tournament. And ever since she did, Gabe, it's almost like that team. You lose. You get there and win and beat somebody good. Now she's like, I'm not afraid of anybody. I got to hand it to Pegula. She's really coming up.
Yeah, that website, Freezing Cold Takes, they could get me because I said just 2 months ago, I said, Pegula will never win a big match. I called her out.
Now she's winning.
Yeah, but she hasn't won yet. I give her credit.
She won a big tournament.
She's in. Yeah, but I know. But I'm saying this is the first time she's ever made the semis of a major, bro. She's been around a while.
How's she going to beat
She's never made it to the semifinals. So give her credit. I'm just stating. She's up. Oh yeah, she rolled today. But one thing I'll say here too, Swiatek, she's like another one of these modern players. I don't want to. What's the best word I'm looking for here? But inconsistent, being nice.
Actually,
but she's an emotional wreck. When she's winning, she's good. When she's losing, like the Olympics, she broke down. Tonight, you could see she was on the verge of a meltdown all the time. When things don't go well for her, I'm just telling you, as someone who bets on this woman quite a bit, and I took her in game today. It was nothing against Pegula, but Pegula was up big, and I was like, plus 160? Sure, I'll take Iga here, plus 160. Again, and she cost me a big parlay in the Olympics, Cam. Swiatek's on my list, bro. I'm off of this girl.
Billy Madison, put her on the list. Hey, she does. And I'll tell you why. McEnroe talked about it too, Gabe. I watch a lot of women's tennis and the underdogs win, but you know what Swiatek's problem is? She's always too aggressive. She doesn't know when to tone it back, too. She's pound, 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 pound. There's a time and a place, and it's killing her now. You watch her style. She played right into Pegula's hands today, and it was very, very – you said it. And then once she started getting down, she broke down. That's the thing about this girl. She doesn't have the consistency to be a true champion. That's why Sabalenka is a better a player in my stretch, because she will find a way to grind. Swiatek doesn't know how to grind.
That's why Swiatek racked up a bunch on clay. So it seems like, she's got an advantage, but you take her off this and suddenly she doesn't. She's still great. I'm just mad she cost me.
The Bostonian versus the book.
Would it make you feel better as a bettor or as a sports fan if they said after the game we were trying to cover the spread?
Oh, God. To say it out loud? Oh, my God, no.
So what,
to say it out loud? Oh, my God. You can't say that out loud. No, you can't even. You can't do that.
Okay, so what is the big deal either way?
Oh, play the game the right way.
The Bostonian versus the book.
I feel like the first person to take a kicker in fantasy football is somebody that feels like, man, I had a really bad draft. Let me make sure I get the best kicker. The way I've always looked at it that way. Like, oh, I did so bad, so let me take Justin Tucker.
The key for me is, though, I make marks. Okay, this guy, I'll highlight him because I don't want 3 or 4 of these guys. I draft 3 or 4 of these guys and they all get hurt. I have no one to blame but me.
Fantasy sports today, only on SportsGrid.
When you're really, really amazing like this, people kind of take it for granted. Same with Ohtani, right? People will sort of see, oh, Ohtani did this, Ohtani did that, and it sort of, becomes normalized a little bit. But to put in context, Aaron Judge joins the 1,000 hit club, reaches, gets it done. So earlier this month, he was the fastest player to reach 300 home runs ever.
SportsRage Late Night, only on SportsGrid.
Let's go.
Welcome to the Live Golf Team Championship.
The golf has been mesmerizing.
They are the Live Golf Team Champions.
Team golf is back.
Oh, yes!
Are you ready?
Let's go! That's what champions do.
So the tennis is continuing. We're going down in flames. We need a 5-setter. Medvedev did the wise tennis vet move. Had to go to the room for some treatment, slow this thing down a little bit.
Yes, I love it. That is a veteran move. Yep, got to go.
These
for a
guys
walk.
all the time. Like, I don't know. I guess you're allowed to do it twice. It's the Nadal special. It's like, yeah, listen, I got to go to the room for a minute here. Like, got to get a little, we'll be back. A little quick timeout. So I don't know. Medvedev's back out here right now. He's going down here, man. Sinner's just rolling. Must be that special cream that he's a big cheater, Sinner, huh? Got away with it twice.
Steroids. Yep, you're right, Gabe.
He seems like a nice kid. And he didn't do it. I don't know.
It's like what Kramer said. There was the bomb. Why'd you put the bomb on? It's like bad bomb. You got
happened twice, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like,
that's the thing. Well, Gabe, if you're my tennis, say I'm your coach and you're a tennis player, you don't think I know? Like, you know what everything that goes in your body and on your body. You got to know that this compound's not on the up and up.
I put it this way: when he won at Indian Wells, they didn't even give him his money, and he agreed to it. So that's what I was like. If you were really innocent, how come you wouldn't say, no, where's my money? He was like, yeah, okay.
No.
You keep the money.
Oh, my money. It's the cream.
Yeah, so it wasn't normal. Like, that wasn't talked about enough. Like I said, like what player can that's in a modern athlete that would like say, no, I didn't do this. I guess in the big picture, though, whatever. You're really going to argue over $458K or whatever it was. I think it was like $600K or something.
Him. Yeah, not him.
Right? He's got money, and he figured, all right. I don't know. The tennis world was split. The Kyrgios guy came out after him hard. He said, if I did this, I'd be suspended 2 years automatically.
He's right.
He goes, be real.
He's right.
And he would be.
Right.
And Shapovalov, the Canadian dude, we should know these two are like the biggest hotheads on the tour. But Shapo basically said the same thing. He said different rules for different people on the tour, evidently. He said, if this was me, I'd definitely get, and he goes, and there was a bunch of them, actually. There were a couple others, like, that came in hard. I forget which others. There's another tennis player who's very active on Twitter. He had a lot. He was bitching about it, but some others were defending Sinner a bit, saying it was so minuscule, shut up, he beat you, it is what it is. But, like, even Maria Sharapova and stuff in the old days, she got suspended 2 years. Like, there's a zero tolerance in tennis with this stuff. it does seem like he did get some sort of a bit of special treatment. Pardon the pun, literally, but
yeah, special treatment.
Like I said, some people thought that he should be suspended.
Well, you just said it. Chapo's one of the craziest guys. Gabe, he was in the finals of a match, and he told the guy to F off, and then he told the umpire to F off, and he got DQ'd. Like, you could have won the match. Like, he's willing to be that insane to get kicked off a court in a finals of a tournament. He's always yelling at people.
He'll never win like that.
No, he's got, the thing is, you could be emotional, but his emotions kill him. And Kyrgios is a psycho. You're right. Different strokes for different folks. It's like in golf when guys move
Chapo is funny, though.
Yeah, Chapo is funny, but he's nuts.
Last year, I'll never forget, he was in Italy, and he beat an Italian, and he was bitching about it after. Like, Chapo was doing an interview, and it wasn't going well. He just looked to the entire stadium in Italy, and he said, "Would you shut the F up?" Like, he yelled at them, "Would you shut?" And I was like, dude, you're going to get clipped, man, by some mobster. Like, you can't go into Italy here and start telling him to shut the F. Like he's nuts. Like you said, like he tells the judges, like, I don't know, he thinks he's on a hockey rink, this guy. I don't know if he grew up playing hockey. I know he didn't, actually. He's actually I think he's more one of the country club kids that's got, like, temper. He's like Dennis the Menace. He's got temper tantrums.
You're absolutely right. Kind of looks like Dennis.
Like,
yeah, he's like
he does. That's why I say he's like the Dennis the Menace of tennis.
He's
like,
Canadian.
Bro,
he's a Canadian / European Dennis the Menace with a bad.
Because he's a pretty good player. Like when he's on his game, he can play with almost anybody. He's not quite the top. You look at the difference. Put it this way: look at Felix Auger-Aliassime. He's much calmer. He doesn't snap. He's very composed, and he's much closer to winning a major than Chapo is. Right? I'm telling you, he's the one guy. I'll hang my hat on him. But we were talking about Pegula. It's freaking hard, bro, to win, man. You got a lot of these players are tough, man. Once you get to the top, like 3 or 4, you can get to like you get to the quarterfinals, but once you get to the semifinals, it's like the same people there all the time. And it's not easy. Like Pegula said it after the match tonight. She said, I've lost in the quarterfinals a million times, but she said, a lot of times I lost to the person that won the tournament. Mm-hmm. Right? So you've just got to find a way to break through. And if you're Felix Auger-Aliassime, he needs a good draw in one of these big events. He's got a ton of confidence now. Like, he's right there. He needs a really good draw, and he needs, like, Alcaraz to get hurt or, like, you know what I mean? He needs, like, a break him. You know what I mean? Like, Novak's not going to be around forever. He needs, like, to get a good matchup. Somebody got upset. Somebody didn't enter. Somebody twisted their ankle, and everything falls into place. And I think this kid can nail down a major in his career.
I agree with you 100%. And think about how things are working out for Sinner in this tournament, right? You got Alcaraz out. You got Djokovic out. You're a 3 seed now, just sitting there going,
what I'm saying. Yeah.
That's the way it works. That's the way the cookie crumbles.
It's wide open.
So, yes, it is. And looks like Sinner is playing really, really well right now.
You should just do what Sinner did and take some of those steroids and just say, hey, my massage therapist gave it to me.
Yeah, give us the Canadian cream. Like, extra strength. Let's go. Put it on, Felix.
All right, so speaking of Italy, Sinner's Italian. Yeah. A red-headed Italian. Not a lot of them can. Yeah. You must be a fan of him.
Actually, I talked to some people about it. The Italian, they're in the north because it's closer to Germany. That's where the ginger Italians are, way up there, Gabe. That's the thing. They're not in the south. That's where the redheads, they throw them up north because it's...
he doesn't look Italian. Like, if you look at him, you wouldn't think he was Italian.
No. Yeah. They told me there's gingers up north there because it's close to Germany and the other areas there. But Sinner's a great player. He's amazing.
Well, I need Medvedev to win this set, point blank. I mean, this is ridiculous. It's 6-2, 6-1, 6-1. Like, it's just these, it's these, never seen anything like this before. They've played 1 hour fit. Like I said, it's kind of anticlimactic, but hey. All right, so Babad will be joining us in a couple of minutes. Let's get back to the football. We got college football to get to as well. But just for the record, Taylor Fritz, a minus 250 favorite against TFO and plus 2. I saw Taylor Fritz live at the Laver Cup. The dude, like you said, he's starting to figure it out too. He used to just have that booming serve, but he's starting to figure out the nuances of the game a little bit. And an American man, male is due to win, man. I don't think it's happened since Andre Agassi. But back to the National Football League. Total tomorrow sits at 47. The 46.5s are gone. Generally, guys, I think the sharps, the sharps, pros, let's call them, people that bet bigger dollars, not so much sharps, but pros, they generally going to bet the unders, right? The public is going to win, right? The public like to cheer for the over. So, the numbers are always going to go up. I talked about it last week. It doesn't mean the bet's going to win. But look at last week, a good example. The USC game went all the way down to 63.5 at one point, the total. And that was like pro bettors, Cam, betting it. Saying, you know what? It's too many points for a week one game, right? This this big number. And they bet it down from the 66.5 that it was. By kickoff, it was bet back up to 66.5. Because everybody on Sunday was like, I'm betting the over. So tomorrow, Cam, it'll be the same thing. Like, I think if you like the over this game, it wouldn't surprise me if you get the dreaded 47.5 or 48 for this game, because I think the public will start bet the over of Thursday Night Football tomorrow.
The thing is, though, the only reason I took the under in that USC game, Gabe, you talk about clean rides. That total was it was so big, and it's different players on the team too, right? Like you saw them, it started to open up with the first quarter.
You know what it was?
So slow.
It was a lot like that Orange Bowl we were at. I could tell right away early. LSU started off the football game with a 6.5, 7 minute drive. They went all the way down the field. They threw it in for a touchdown, but it was out of bounds.
Yeah.
The Bostonian versus the book.
Would it make you feel better as a bettor or as a sports fan if they said after the game we were trying to cover the spread?
Oh, God. To say it out loud? Oh, my God, no. So to say it out loud? Oh, my God. You can't say that out loud. No, you can't do that.
Okay, so what is the big deal either way?
Oh, play the game the right way.
The Bostonian versus the book.
I feel like the first person to take a kicker in fantasy football is somebody that feels like, man, I had a really bad draft. Let me make sure I get the best kicker. The way I've always looked at it that way. Like, I did so bad, so let me take Justin Tucker.
The key for me is, though, I make marks. Okay, this guy, I'll highlight him because I don't want 3 or 4 of these guys. I draft 3 or 4 of these guys and they all get hurt. I have no one to blame but me.
Fantasy sports today, only on SportsGrid.
When you're really, really amazing like this, people kind of take it for granted. Same with Ohtani, right? People will sort of see, Ohtani did this, Ohtani did that, and it sort of, becomes normalized a little bit. But to put in context, Aaron Judge joins the 1,000 hit club, gets it done. So earlier this month, he was the fastest player to reach 300 home runs ever.
SportsRage Late Night, only on SportsGrid.
Let's go.
Welcome to the Live Golf Team Championship.
The golf has been mesmerizing.
They are the Live Golf Team Champions.
Team golf is back.
Oh, yes!
Are you ready?
Let's go! That's what champions do.
Let's roll this at SportsRage. I'm Morency. Babano's going to step up and in a couple of moments. So the Chiefs are laying 3 in this game. I brought it up earlier. Lamar Jackson's 13-1-1 against the spread as an underdog in a regular season in his career. He's been straight money as a dog. And the Kansas City Chiefs, despite all their success, they haven't been a great team to bet on ATS-wise. That's why this number is what it is. With you're laying 3 here. One thing, too, I've talked about this a lot over the years. It's shifted. in the old days, and I'll say old days, I'll use the 80s as an example. For the most part in the 80s, the Super Bowl winner, they didn't have the Thursday night game in those days. So the Super Bowl winner would often be on like Monday Night Football or something, and they'd be a play against. They'd be overly priced, and they wouldn't cover. Yet when they came up with that Thursday night stuff, man, it was like 19-2 or something like that, where the home team on Thursday night, the Super Bowl winner, would win the game. They generally cover the point spread. Yet now you look, these numbers are so low right now. And last year, the Detroit Lions were underdogs going into Kansas City to start the season, and they won the football game outright. I remember 3 years ago, the Rams won this. When the Rams won the Super Bowl, they opened up the season against the Buffalo Bills in Los Angeles, and I was at the football game, and the Buffalo Bills won the football game outright. So the defending Super Bowl champion thing hasn't been straight money, right? Like, the home team's going to win for sure. It was for a long time. It isn't right now. But one thing that Brady Cannon said that I completely agree with earlier is the Kansas City Chiefs are actually better this year. You can tell. They're like they have a better roster this year, just point blank. They got it done. They've gotten it done with limited talent. You've got to give Andy Reid credit, man. They lose people. They lose Tyreek Hill. It doesn't matter. They lose Eric Bieniemy. It doesn't matter, right? Wide receivers are coming in and out. It doesn't matter. Mahomes makes it work with anybody. Now, suddenly he's got a complement of weapons to work with. And something we didn't bring up earlier, Marlon Humphrey of the Baltimore Ravens. All right, so I don't know what Marlon Humphrey's deal is. I think he'll probably be a crazy politician in a couple of years, but it seems like he's already started. He's got a podcast. You know what he's like? He's like that, it's like the annoying basketball player there, Patrick Beverley. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, Humphrey's turning into the Patrick Beverley of the NBA. Like, so he's got a podcast, and he just says stupid things to try to get people, like, really, like, he called out Simone Biles at the U.S. gym team for congratulating the Brazilian. Like, he's got, like, weird takes, this guy. So he went off on a rampage about, on his show, about how Travis Kelce's trying to steal his livelihood and that he's coming to take over the podcast business, and he's trying to destroy his life and all this. And he's talking about, because the Kelce brothers got $100 million deal to do their show, which is an incredible amount of money. And Humphrey said the only reason they got it was because of Taylor Swift, and she's the one that, like, and I don't know, he's like, no, there's no other player in the National Football League who's getting personal with Kelce about podcasts. Like, I don't know what Humphrey thinks, that, like, he owns the podcast market. He's the only one that's allowed to do a podcast, I guess, in his mind. But he's not that good anymore, Humphrey. So he's talking a lot of smack. And where I'm going with this is Patrick Mahomes is like Michael Jordan. He hears everything, man. Like, every slight, everything he knows about. And Humphrey's talking a lot of smack about shutting Kelce down tomorrow. And I think you got to be careful what you wish for. Say what you will about Kelce. He makes plays, and Mahomes will want to get him the ball. So it sounds very, very, squarish to say that Travis Kelce's probably going to score a touchdown tomorrow, but I wouldn't bet against it. I think Travis Kelce's going to score a touchdown tomorrow. Like, they're going to go after Humphrey tomorrow. Mahomes likes to go after people that talk smack, right? So, yep. And Humphrey, if I was Harbaugh, I would tell Humphrey to shut up, because exactly.
I agree.
I'd tell him, listen, if you were 24 and you're fast enough to keep up with these people, fine. Talk all you want, but you're not. And he got burnt last year a lot. So, it's one thing I'd be concerned about, actually. And I do like Baltimore in this game. But if you look at the Chiefs and the weapons that they have, and another thing is, too, why isn't Rashee Rice getting suspended? What's up with that?
I don't know. You're right.
This guy, Rashee Rice, caused like an 8-car collision, put a bunch of people in the hospital on a Dallas freeway, and then left the scene. And whatever. People act like it never happened. Some other guys is like, oh, well, he got into an altercation outside a club. He's getting suspended for 3, So whatever. But the Kansas City Chiefs are basically they're a menace to society. They're a danger to everybody. But he's a great wide receiver. And you throw in Xavier Worthy right now into the mix, into this speed, like the amount of speed that they have with Mahomes to work with, very, very scary. The Baltimore Ravens are going to have their hands full, but I think Derrick Henry has a big game tomorrow, and there should be a fun game. I think they'll come out and put points up on the board in week one here. I think both offenses will just sort of be aggressive. You know, they played in the playoff game. You're playing in a conference championship game. It's a different mindset than in week one. And quite frankly, I just think the Chiefs offense is going to score. So, Baltimore better if we're on the Baltimore Ravens tomorrow. I'll tell you that because I expect Kansas City to put some points up. I think it's a 27-24 football game, but Baltimore win.
I like that score. I'm with you. Sometimes I take unders. I like the over. Let's remember in that AFC Championship game how many points are left on the board. You mentioned it earlier in the show about Zay Flowers, drops, mistakes, turnovers. The Baltimore Ravens couldn't have played any worse, and just the way they shot themselves in the foot. Gabe, we had our guest on the other day, and I kind of agree with his first half over as well. I'm with you. I like the dog and the over. I'm taking Baltimore and the over. I'm going to tease it to the over as well. I like that teaser a lot.
We should know week one unders have been straight cash. That's why, for the most part, as I stated, the pros have already attacked the unders. Now the public and everyone's going to come in on the overs in these games. If you like the overs, it was better to attack them early. Look at Green Bay, Philly, same thing.
The Bostonian versus the book.
Would it make you feel better as a bettor or as a sports fan if they said after the game we were trying to cover the spread?
Oh, God. To say it out loud? Oh, my God, no. So to say it out loud? Oh, my God. You can't say that out loud. No, you can't do that.
Okay, so what is the big deal either way?
Oh, play the game the right way.
The Bostonian versus the book.
I feel like the first person to take a kicker in fantasy football is somebody that feels like, man, I had a really bad draft. Let me make sure I get the best kicker. The way I've always looked at it that way. Like, oh, I did so bad, so let me take Justin Tucker.
The key for me is, though, I make marks. Okay, this guy, I'll highlight him because I don't want 3 or 4 of these guys. I draft 3 or 4 of these guys and they all get hurt. I have no one to blame but me.
Fantasy sports today, only on SportsGrid.
When you're really, really amazing like this, people kind of take it for granted. Same with Ohtani, right? People will sort of see, oh, Ohtani did this, Ohtani did that, and it sort of, becomes normalized a little bit. But to put in context, Aaron Judge joins the 1,000 hit club, gets it done. So earlier this month, he was the fastest player to reach 300 home runs ever.
SportsRage Late Night, only on SportsGrid.
Let's go.
Welcome to the Live Golf Team Championship.
The golf has been mesmerizing.
They are the Live Golf Team champions.
Team golf is back.
Oh, yes!
Are you ready?
Let's go! That's what champions do.
Let's roll. This is SportsRage. I am Morency. The pits, the players, the hustlers, the people, the busters, and everybody else in between. We're into the 4th set right now. Medvedev is up 3-2. He's down 2 sets to 1. So Medvedev needs to win this set to get this thing to a 5th set. If it gets to 5 sets, we'll probably win our bet. I say probably, but man, they only got to 22 after 3 sets. It is 3-2 right now, so it looks like we have a little bit more of a battle, but just point blank, whatever. I need Medvedev to win this set. Either way, I'm going to lose. the total bet. Let's get people caught up to date with what's going on right now in game Major League Baseball before football takes center stage tomorrow night. The Angels are rattling the Dodgers cage right now. They're up 7-1 in the top of the seventh inning. The Dodgers are getting 5.5 runs. Seattle are beating up on Oakland tonight, 6-2. So Oakland, one of the hottest teams in baseball, but Seattle are up 6-2 in this game, top of the seventh inning. San Diego and Detroit are tied at 5 right now in the bottom of the fifth inning. The in-game total is 13.5. A lot of baseball left in that game. 13.5 feels a little bit light, actually, to me, considering they're already at 10. You got a runner on first base right now in the bottom of the fifth inning. So for in-game bettors, I think over 13.5 could be worth a look there. And it's 3-0 for the Arizona Diamondbacks right now in the bottom of the sixth inning. And Brady Cannon was with us earlier, alluded to the Giants being a fade right now down the stretch. I don't disagree with that. You've got to sort of see what's the crowd like, what's the atmosphere of the team like, and San Francisco are one of those teams ready to pack it up and pack it in, but the San Francisco 49ers are just ready to get started. There's big numbers out there, and I don't know who you're taking, Cam, but there's big numbers out there about underdogs in week one, specifically Monday Night Football underdogs in week one. Favorites have been absolutely murdered in week one of Monday Night Football. It's just like historically, it's been a money burner. We'll get you the exact number here. And you get the San Francisco 49ers hosting the New York Jets in this game. And if there's one team that's had like a very strange training camp and preseason, it has been the San Francisco 49ers. You had the Ayuk situation. It just went on and on and on all summer, whether he was staying, whether he was going. It was like a Clash song. So whether he was staying or he's gone, he doesn't play. He's not in the rhythm. Trent Williams just signs right now. Ricky Pearsall gets freaking shot a couple of days ago. Yeah, it's just sort of one thing after another, and you get the New York Jets rolling in here. I don't buy into the Jets. I don't trust Aaron Rodgers personally. I think Aaron Rodgers' best football is behind him, number one. And number two, I don't think Aaron Rodgers will be able to get through the season without getting hurt. So I've got nothing personally against the Jets, but for Jet fans, aren't you guys cursed enough over the years to know that this isn't going to end well? But it doesn't mean that I don't think they can cover against San Francisco in week one. Who are you taking in this game?
Well, we're reading each other's mail. I'm on the New York Football Jets. If you're going to get the Jets early, I'm with you with Rodgers again, Gabe. If he stays healthy, I think they're a lethal team. Defense travels, and they have one of the best defenses in the league. Don't really like their coaching staff, but Garrett Wilson, they have weapons galore. It's about keeping AR upright. Also, Gabe, he went to Cal. A lot of happy times there in the state of California for Aaron Rodgers if he can get through this one. And I think 4.5 is too many points. I'm going to be taking the points with the Jets. But Aaron Rodgers has to stay healthy. It's asking a lot, Morency. They have to protect him. But the Jets do have weapons and defense travels, but I like them in this spot against San Francisco.
Dennis Allen might be the worst coach in the National Football League.
Mm-hmm.
Robert Saleh is not far behind.
No, he's up there.
He's not. He's not a good coach. And Nate Hackett is a hack. So I have zero confidence in the New York Jet coaching staff. And whatever. All right, their defense is good. Good for them. So is San Francisco's. Right? I don't trust the Jets personally. I'm not saying that I like. I'm just giving people the numbers. Doesn't mean that I like them. But historically, over the years, underdogs on Monday Night Football in week one are 41-19 against the spread.
Pretty damn good. I like that.
Well, that's a 68% clip right there for home for underdogs in week one. But like I said, I don't personally buy into the New York Jets. I think it's a close. I don't. The number it's a sharp number. I think San Francisco will win the game by 3 points or something. But I'm not saying this because I want it to happen. But I wouldn't be surprised if Rodgers got hurt again in the first game.
The Bostonian versus the book.
Would it make you feel better as a bettor or as a sports fan if they said after the game we were trying to cover the spread?
Oh, God. To say it out loud? Oh, my God, no.
So what,
to say it out loud? Oh, my God. You can't say that out loud. No, you can't do that.
Okay, so what is the big deal either way?
Oh, play the game the right way.
The Bostonian versus the book.
I feel like the first person to take a kicker in fantasy football is somebody that feels like, man, I had a really bad draft. Let me make sure I get the best kicker. The way I've always looked at it that way. Like, oh, I did so bad, so let me take Justin Tucker.
The key for me is, though, I make marks. Okay, this guy, I'll highlight him because I don't want 3 or 4 of these guys. I draft 3 or 4 of these guys and they all get hurt. I have no one to blame but me.
Fantasy sports today, only on SportsGrid.
When you're really, really amazing like this, people kind of take it for granted. Same with Ohtani, right? People will sort of see, oh, Ohtani did this, Ohtani did that, and it sort of, becomes normalized a little bit. But to put in context, Aaron Judge joins the 1,000 hit club, reaches, gets it done. So earlier this month, he was the fastest player to reach 300 home runs ever.
SportsRage Late Night, only on SportsGrid.
Let's go.
Welcome to the Live Golf Team Championship.
The golf has been mesmerizing.
They are the Live Golf Team Champions.
Team golf is back.
Oh, yes!
Are you ready?
Let's go! That's what champions do.
All right, we're tied at 3 right now in the 4th set. So Sinner is up 15 love. Medvedev is, so a love 15. Yeah, love 15. Medvedev is serving. He needs this. Like, he needs to win the set. And he was up earlier. It's starting to slip away a little bit here. He's got to step up and get back on track. Maybe we'll get some drama in the late night hours here at Flushing Meadows. U.S. Open always kicks ass. Ian Cameron ready to step up and in here. 30, man. Medvedev. This is it. If
if he gets broken here, we're screwed. Like, he has to come back and win this. Yeah, come on now, because this is a real problem. He better win this next point, or we're toast. We are gonna be toasted. This is a nightmare on all fronts.
This is very critical. Neither player's taking any chances right now. Now they're both just knocking it back and forth.
Yeah, nice soft rally. Wait for the other guy to screw up. Yep.
Somebody's got to take a chance. If you're Medvedev, you got to take a chance soon here. He's setting you up. There it is. Boom. Love 40. What a choker Medvedev is. Medvedev's a big choker. So is Zverev, too. He's Zverev. That other guy is, too. All these modern players are the same. Yeah, he's another hothead, but he's a choker.
No, he is amazing. Like him, Shapo, and Kyrgios. That's the hothead podium right there. That guy's
They're all
nuts.
hotheads. That's their problem.
Yeah. Zverev's
spoiled.
crazy.
They're all spoiled. All right, Babano's ready to step up and in, I believe. Ian Cameron in the house. What's going on, Babano?
Yeah.
Hey, God. News to me, you're only on till midnight, but here I am, finally. What's up?
News to me. New format, Babano. This is it.
Well, yeah, we should have you should have got a special report. Yeah, you get to bed earlier, Babano, right now.
Yeah,
or whatever it is you do in the late night hours. None of us really are sure. So
I think it includes drinking beer and going over numbers. Yeah, that's what I'm predicting. A couple cold ones, some suds, and some spreads. That's Babano's late night action behind the screen.
Burn my skin with no sunscreen for my tie cap.
Yeah, what the hell's going on, Babano? You got beat up.
Yeah, I was going to say, your forehead. You got some weird stuff going on in your forehead.
Yeah, what's going on there? Somebody hit you with a brick? Like, I'm red all the time.
It doesn't look like sun.
No,
what the hell is that?
Sun did a number on me at the game on Monday.
Yeah, that doesn't look like sun. That looks like somebody hit you with a stick. Yeah, something's going on there. Yeah, we'll get to the bottom of this game.
So that's what happens if you sit in the sun, Babano? Like, yeah, it looks like you got a rash on your forehead.
Yeah, it's because I had not a lick of sunscreen on Monday, and it came back to
pretty stupid. Yeah, you're still white, Babano. Like, look, you see me. I don't go to the house without anything under 40. Like, use your head, preferably graphite too.
Wasn't losing. Can't use your head when you're in a hurry. That's the problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably should have thought about putting a hat on tonight or something.
Yeah, hat would be good. Yeah, hat would be a good call.
You don't have a baseball cap?
Backwards hat. I should.
Cover that up.
I love the battle. Yeah, there you
Just
go.
saying.
Yeah, we're done.
All right. So maybe see if Medvedev's fighting back here. Now it's 30-40.
Right.
So he needs this point. He needs this point in a big-time way. All right. So we've been talking a lot of NFL football tonight, but college football, we got a couple of games tomorrow. But Bano, everybody's focused on the NFL so much, and I get it, and a lot of excitement. But we do have some college football on tap, including BYU and SMU. And this SMU team, we saw them in week 1 against Nevada underachieve. They're almost like NC State SMU. Like, people every year will talk, this team's going to be good. I said, no, they're not. Like, you could hype them up all you want. You could talk about the money that they have or this or that. And, of course, Medvedev just knocked it out of bounds. Sinner wins the set 4-3, or the game 4-3's up in the set.
Now up a break,
but,
yeah,
he's in a lot of trouble. BYU, though, are getting 11.5 in this game. The total is 56 tomorrow. We got Duke at Northwestern, a battle of smart schools tomorrow. Yeah. Duke are at Northwestern at that stadium on the lake, which looks pretty badass. Yep. Yeah, it's just pretty cool. I'm going to give them that. It'll suck when it's cold. At this time of year, it'll be cool.
You're right, man. Winter, that's going to be frigid. That's right by the water.
They don't have too many, but I was thinking it's not a good idea. Like, it's going to be seriously cold, but it's a hot ticket because it's so small. They're charging a lot of money to get in and all that, but Duke and Northwestern tomorrow, BYU, SMU, everyone's going to be focused on the NFL, but I personally don't trust laying 11.5 with SMU. Like, I don't care who they beat last week. HBCU, whoever the hell they played. Phoenix Online, DeVry, whatever. Now they're playing against BYU. Too many points, in my opinion. I don't trust them. I'm not saying I love BYU, but I think SMU were kind of a paper team to battle. I don't think they're that good.
I agree with you.
Yeah, they're going to have to show it to me. I agree with you guys before I'm ready to trust them. I like the over more in that game rather than a side. I think I like what I saw from Jake Retzlaff, the new quarterback for BYU. He's got a great receiver in Chase Roberts. Actually, they got a couple of good targets down the field. I know it was Southern Illinois at home, but I like the way the offense looked. The O-line looked solid. I think when you look at SMU, too, I think this offense will be able to move the ball against BYU. The defense for BYU kind of took a step back last year, and I don't know how much you can gauge in giving up, less than 20 points to Southern Illinois, facing this SMU offense, which has Maryland, the great tight end, great receivers. I know Preston Stone's kind of been inconsistent so far, but you've got to think he's going to get it going. I think Rhett Lashley's going to use both as quarterbacks. He'll use Jennings as well. In this game. Either way, I think both guys can move the football against BYU. So I like the over in that game more than a side. And for Duke Northwestern, look, there's going to be wind, chance of showers by the lake as well. I like the under. I don't trust either offense in that game. It's a low total, but it's low for a reason. I think if there's wind, which is going to make it tougher to throw the ball, it's worse for for Duke, because I think Duke has trouble running the ball. Malik Murphy's a solid quarterback. I think Northwestern's more reliant on running the football. So if there is wind, it's probably a little advantage for Northwestern. So I lean to the Wildcats. And the Wildcats have covered 8 straight games, guys, going back to last year. 8 straight point spread covers for Northwestern. They've been undervalued for a very long time.
I like Northwestern to win the game, too. We've seen it in the CFL. Teams get a bump when you move into these smaller stadiums. Look at the BC Lions. Good example. Look, the BC lost 5 in a row. They play in a little 14,000 seat stadium. It gets that crazy sort of vibe going as opposed, it's sort of, I saw the same thing with the Montreal Alouettes and they used to play in the Olympic Stadium and it was flat. They moved into the playoff game and they never turned back. They kept playing at the outdoor stadium, but there'll be more enthusiasm right now. It's sort of like going to a concert, right? if you have 15,000 people in a 50,000 seat stadium, the vibe is no good. You cram 10,000 people into in a 10,000 people arena, and it's like, oh, these guys are hot. Look at all the tickets they sold. So it changes the mentality. But guys, 7 points for a college football. The average college football game gets to 56, Babano. That's like the average, 55.8 or something. It's like, man, 37.
Duke's offensively challenged too. Like we could have like a 14-6 type of game
think
here.
So.
Like,
and there's wind. I don't like that there's wind. That's the problem. I don't like that there's wind for that.
That total's low, but it's low for a reason. For a good reason.
Yeah, bad weather also can lead to turnovers, right? Short fields.
It can.
Yeah. That's what you're going to have to hope for, maybe. Yeah.
We see this time and time again. Look, they put up 26 points against Elon.
And they struggled for 2.5 quarters. They only got going late in the fourth with that offense.
And it is true. Northwestern put up a whopping 13 against Miami, Ohio. So
this is gross. First team to 10.
Have fun, Tim Brando, with this Friday night special.
Yeah, it's you know what, I'll be watching the Chiefs Raiders instead of this one.
That's great.
This is Friday night. This is Friday night, guys. This game.
That's right.
Both games are Friday night.
So
for
Friday night.
Packers
Eagles. Eagles Packers. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Eagles Packers on Friday night. All right, more on the other side.
The Bostonian versus the Book.
Would it make you feel better as a bettor or as a sports fan if they said after the game we were trying to cover the spread?
Oh, God. To say it out loud? Oh, my God, no. So to say it out loud? Oh, my God. You can't say that out loud. No, you can't do that.
Okay, so what is the big deal either way?
Oh, play the game the right way.
The Bostonian versus the Book.
I feel like the first person to take a kicker in fantasy football is somebody that feels like, man, I had a really bad draft. Let me make sure I get the best kicker. The way I've always looked at it that way. Like, oh, I did so bad, so let me take Justin Tucker.
The key for me is, though, I make marks. Okay, this guy, I'll highlight him because I don't want 3 or 4 of these guys. I draft 3 or 4 of these guys and they all get hurt. I have no one to blame but me.
Fantasy sports today, only on SportsGrid.
When you're really, really amazing like this, people kind of take it for granted. Same with Ohtani, right? People will sort of see, oh, Ohtani did this, Ohtani did that, and it sort of, becomes normalized a little bit. But to put in context, Aaron Judge joins the 1,000 hit club, gets it done. So earlier this month, he was the fastest player to reach 300 home runs ever.
SportsRage Late Night, only on SportsGrid.
Let's go.
Welcome to the Live Golf Team Championship.
The golf has been mesmerizing.
They are the Live Golf Team Champions.
Team golf is back.
Oh, yes!
Are you ready?
Let's go! That's what champions do.
This is SportsRage. I am Morency. We're done. Medvedev is going down.
We're done. You're hacking away. We're just like, we're watching our money fly away.
I'm choking like he is. I'm like, there he goes.
Yeah.
5-3. He had the opportunity. He got broken. We were talking about it. It was 3-2. He could have gone up 4-2. Just a complete meltdown. You see this time and time again with the same players over and over. They just hit the wall. There's another unforced error into the net. And in fact, it's a match point coming up right now. Medvedev's about to get broken twice in this set. That's pathetic. So come on, bro. Like, at least hold your damn serve, man. You're getting broke twice in a game match point set. Like, what kind of fight is this?
For people who haven't watched too, he had him on the ropes twice early, 40-15 for the break, and Sinner grinded back and won. But when he's up that way, choke. That's the difference. Sinner can get through, make it 40-30 deuce, and then he finds a way to get it done. This guy's up. He could have broken him twice early, cost him the match. Yeah,
I thought that Swiatek nearly came back on Pegula, too. Pegula was up 40-love, and she made it 40-30. I was like, oh, boy. It would have went to like 5-4, 5-5 after. It would have been a big dramatic swing. Medvedev's got the advantage here.
Momentum can swing in a tennis match. Like, it can happen just like that.
If he wins this one, and can we get a miracle break?
He's got to break him. He's got to break him after that.
Yeah, I know he does. He's got to win this and break him.
He just won.
Okay,
he just won, so it's 5-4. He's got to break him.
He's still down a break, so he's got to break Yannick's serve here.
It's like Homer Simpson's pig, Gabe. It's flying away. It's still good. It's still good.
Still good. It is. We got to hope that Sinner chokes now, and he gets nervous and puts it into the net a bunch of times. Double fault. Let's go.
Medvedev. Can you give him some of that extra hot cream, Gabe? Like the bomb that's really hot and like gives him blisters. Put him on it. Tell him to rub it on his feet.
If I was a player, if I saw anybody rubbing anything on Sinner, I'd be like, hey, check that stuff out.
Yeah,
huh? Like, let's see up there. If you see him over like on the side rubbing some stuff in his arms, he'd be like, hey, it's a super cream.
Yeah, it's like super
You got that
cream.
You got that Italian cream on you, Yannick.
Amazing. Babano needed some cream.
I need some of that right now, yeah.
Yeah, you sure did for your forehead.
Yeah. You should have taken some of the gel from your hair and rubbed it on.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, if there were any more of these restaurants in Canada, you could get me on the commercial. Red Lobster. Yeah.
Or how cheap are you? Why didn't you just buy a damn hat at the game, Babano?
Yeah. By the way, you know who the corporate spokesperson for Red Lobster is? It's Flavor Flav. It ain't you, Babano. That guy's bringing Red Lobster back hard.
Yeah.
Good for him. He's got a big resurgence going on. He's taking over right now.
Lobster? He goes, you told me Red Lobster had no game. They're back in the game. Flavor Flav here. You like garlic shrimp? It was awesome. I'm like, yes, you sold me Flavor Flav. I'm going back. Guy's a wicked spokesperson. He's wicked.
All right, so Georgia Tech and Syracuse. I tell you what, this game's got trap written all over it for Georgia Tech going into Syracuse. Now, listen, Syracuse last week they were a trendy pick, and they barely didn't cover, right? They ended up laying, 17.5? They won by 16. It sucked, too. I laid 10 in the first half with them, and I was watching it at Circa, and they won the first half by 9. It was one of those Saturday mornings. It's like, son of a, right? But it is what it is. But Georgia Tech are going to be a trendy team coming in here with the record that they have, with the win against Florida State. Yet we're seeing a win against Florida State isn't quite as like, oh, wow. Boston College just beat Florida State right now. Not taking anything away from Georgia Tech, but what's your opinion, Babano? In the Dome right now with Kyle McCord and the excitement of the Syracuse program. This is a big-time early season football game here for both teams, especially big for Georgia Tech. This is a tough win to get. They get this thing. You really got to tip your cap to them and go, whoa, these guys are really on a roll right now. Who do you like in the game, Babano? The Yellow Jackets or the Orangemen?
I definitely like the total more than the side. I'm on this over push. There's lots of steam to the over. I agree with it. Syracuse, you could see it last week. Their offense looked really good.
Oh,
it's
my
high.
God.
It is high now, but Syracuse played with some tempo. McCord and the offense looked good. They moved the football, albeit against Ohio, a weaker team. What concerned me is Syracuse's defense. The Ohio running back, Tyus, had 200 rushing yards. Well, Georgia Tech's a run-first offense. They got Haynes, the great running back. Haynes King can definitely run with the football as well from the quarterback spot. I'm worried about that. And Georgia Tech's got one of the best offensive lines in the ACC. We've seen it already in the first two games. So I'm not sure that Syracuse defense holds up against Georgia Tech, but I think Syracuse will move the football with McCord against Georgia Tech a little bit, especially when, although I'm in the camp that believes Georgia Tech's defense is better this year. They face Georgia State, and they face a Florida State team that we now know is offensively challenged. after the way they played against Boston College on Monday night.
Yeah.
So how much
I
better
wish
is
we
Georgia
smashed
Tech's
Florida
defense?
State's win total to the under.
Yeah.
What a
How
train
much better
wreck, man.
is Georgia Tech's defense now after what we've seen from Florida State? We thought that was such a great performance against Florida State, and look what they did against Boston College. So
Dave, don't
I
you
think
think
Syracuse
that
in the
Dorval
dome
should
can move the ball. I like the over
DJ
more
out
than
of that
side.
game. You got to take him out of that game. He's just like, it's just not working, man. Like you need a plan B here. Like they're toast.
Yeah, you know what though? They're getting pushed around in the trenches. I can't defend
Yeah.
EJU. I have over the years, and it is what it is. The results are what they are, but they're not just losing because of quarterback play. Like Babano said about Georgia Tech. Remember, Babano, the big thing with Georgia Tech is, they can run the ball, but they can't stop the run. Everyone thought Florida State was going to be able to run on them. They couldn't run on them. Georgia Tech won the line of scrimmage. Georgia Tech ran on them, and and it was the same thing again. Like Florida State can't win the line of scrimmage, so it doesn't really matter who the quarterback is. They're getting blown up. They can't stop the run, and their offense is a train wreck to top it off. There's sort of the three highlight games of the week. Obviously, Michigan and Texas, so the point spread's 7.5 right now. A game that's kind of flying under the radar a little bit in the late night hours, Boise State and the Ducks. Boise State are getting 20 points at Eugene, man. The total is 61. I'd rather lay the over in this one than Syracuse and Georgia Tech, personally, at 61. We just saw Boise State can't stop anything. We know they're going to be able to score. We know the Ducks are going to score. I think the total gets there. I personally think the point spread is too high. And let's not forget about that Nebraska-Colorado game this week. The Huskers, 7-point favorites right now over the Buffaloes.
The Bostonian versus the book.
Would it make you feel better as a bettor or as a sports fan if they said after the game we were trying to cover the spread?
Oh, God. To say it out loud? Oh, my God, no.
So what,
to say it out loud? Oh, my God. You can't say that out loud. No, you can't do that.
Okay, so what is the big deal either way?
Oh, play the game the right way.
The Bostonian versus the book.
I feel like the first person to take a kicker in fantasy football is somebody that feels like, man, I had a really bad draft. Let me make sure I get the best kicker. The way I've always looked at it that way. Like, oh, I did so bad, so let me take Justin Tucker.
The key for me is, though, I make marks. Okay, this guy, I'll highlight him because I don't want 3 or 4 of these guys. I draft 3 or 4 of these guys and they all get hurt. I have no one to blame but me.
Fantasy sports today, only on SportsGrid.
When you're really, really amazing like this, people kind of take it for granted. Same with Ohtani, right? People will sort of see, oh, Ohtani did this, Ohtani did that, and it sort of, becomes normalized a little bit. But to put in context, Aaron Judge joins the 1,000 hit club, gets it done. So earlier this month, he was the fastest player to reach 300 home runs ever.
SportsRage Late Night, only on SportsGrid.
Let's go.
Welcome to the Live Golf Team Championship.
The golf has been mesmerizing.
They are the Live Golf Team Champions.
Team golf is back.
Oh, yes!
Are you ready?
Let's go! That's what champions do.
This is Sports Rage. We're in the home stretch. We're going to be on tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Eastern right here on SiriusXM Channel 159. And the return of the SportsGrid YouTube in-game live chat as well tomorrow night. So we'll post some links for that. Cam will be in the house. We'll have a halftime show. And we'll break it down in-game. And we have a game on Friday night Normally, SportsRage will be on Fridays, but we've got a rare NFL football game on Friday, along with a couple of college games. So with the Philadelphia Eagles and the Green Bay Packers, for the record, I like the Green Bay Packers in that game. We talked a lot about the Ravens tomorrow. I like the Ravens +3, but I do like the Packers to beat the Eagles. I talked about it before. You're moving on without Jason Kelce, who is the heart and soul of your team. You have your third different offensive coordinator in 3 years. You have a new defensive coordinator. And, your starters didn't play at all in the preseason. So you're just throwing Jalen Hurts out here and hoping for the best. Meanwhile, the Packers ended strong. The Eagles' secondary is bad, all right? They're ranked like 29th in the league against the pass. So they drafted some kids. Okay, these rookies going to come in and change everything in week 1 in Brazil. I also brought it up before about which team will handle the trip better. I don't hear the Packer players crying about Brazil. I hear the Eagle players crying about it. I don't hear the Packer players crying. So all, to me, like I said, the Kelce factor, and I don't think the Eagles are ready. And I don't think the Eagles are great. I just think they're better than the Cowboys are, and that division sucks. But we'll get some college picks in a second. But let me just throw out a couple of quick best bets for tomorrow. Baltimore Ravens +3. Let's go over the 46.5, which is already up to 47 right now. I'm not overthinking this. Derrick Henry averages 119 yards a game against the Kansas City Chiefs, more yards than he does against anybody. It's his first game. You know they're going to want to welcome him to the party, get him a touchdown, get him the football. And if they're smart, they'll keep freaking Patrick Mahomes on the sidelines. So I'm all in on Derrick Henry tomorrow. Derrick Henry touchdown. Derrick Henry over 62.5 rush yards, up to 64.5 right now. And here's a little under the radar pick for you. Justin Watson, Kansas City Chief. Listen, the Ravens are going to have to be worried about Rashee Rice. All right, this kid's like a monster to deal with on the freeway and on a football field. They're going to have to worry about Xavier Worthy. They're going to have to worry about Pacheco. They're going to have to worry about Travis Kelce. Watson's just going to be open, like over the middle of the field a couple of times. He's gone over this number. He went over, I think, in like 6 of their last 9 games. Like, it's just a catch or two. 13.5 yards for Watson. Let's go over the number. 13.5. We'll have some more picks tomorrow. But, Bano, what's your pick for tomorrow night's football game and Friday's game? Quickly here.
Going with the champs at home. I can't trust Baltimore. I saw the AFC Championship game. I see the O-line issues. I see Mike McDonald gone as the defensive coordinator, and I don't know if that defense is going to be as good without him.
That's true. New coordinator.
There are a lot of concerns here with Baltimore here going into this game. So I wouldn't lay more than 3, but you're going to give me 3 or better with Kansas City. I'm in with the Chiefs. I like Patrick Mahomes over rushing yards, my favorite prop, over 20.5. He's gone over his rushing yards prop in 6 straight primetime games. This is where he shows up, and he's more willing.
He's going to have to run for his life a couple of times, right? Yep. He's a better runner than people give him credit for. All right, what about Michigan and Texas and Oklahoma, Nebraska? To me, it's too many points. I'm a Michigan fan, but I'm realistic with the program. It'll be a close game. I'm not guaranteeing Michigan to win the game outright, but it'll be a battle. I think the total is too light. I know it's a defensive battle, but to me, they're going to get into both teams. I think you're going to need like 24, 27 points to win this game, right? I don't know what number Michigan has circled. It's going to be freaking hard to hold Texas to 20 points, 21 points, or something like that. But 43 seems a little light, but I do like Michigan +7.5. I think it comes down to a field goal, guys. I really do. I think it's going to be a dramatic, super sort of early season classic that, oh, my God, it's a 1-point game with 2 minutes left, right? Toss-up game to me. Go blue, plus the points, Babano. Who you got?
Yeah, it's just too much down to lay with Texas. I think Texas, if you got in early, I think they're the better team. They'll win, but my goodness, you're still playing in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and for a big national TV game. And Michigan's defense is still solid, really good. So it's good enough maybe. And Quinn Ewers still has got to show on the road, pretty good defense. Can they move the ball? And then Colorado, Nebraska, I like the over. I think Raiola and Shedeur Sanders both put on a show. Lean Nebraska.
Hard not to bet the over of any Colorado game. Cam, what's your pick for the Ravens game tomorrow?
Ravens +3. Derrick Henry first touchdown at 5-1. I like the over in the first half and the over in the game, and I'm going to tease it too. Let's run. Go Ravens.
Other than that, you're on your own. Later.